enfadado, sí. Pero hace ya mucho. La gente, como siempre, en los Nintendo Directs va a ver
poner un emotito de... Tengo de...
Estamos otro que yo
de
voy
Marinette.
a ver si
No
me
tengo
saca
de Marinette porque se me acabó.
también. Un Donkey Kong, un Golden Sun, a ver si vuelven a resucitarlo, a ver si sacan algo de Marian Rabbids.
Le voy a poner, ¿no? Le voy a poner un Dorito. No, le voy a poner una moneda dorada. Esta es del Mario.
Yo literalmente me veo esto, o sea, no, a veces me veo conferencias. No sé, como el que veo la peli. Me gusta mucho ver conferencias de videojuegos, tío. Chao, Esp.
Me ha llamado SP en plan de... Vale. Tengo que empezar a directar. Tengo que... Ah, esto ya está transmitiendo. En YouTube tengo que abrir el emitir en directo. Esto ya... ¿Todo está en el aire ya? Esto ya... Parece que sí. ¿Todo está en el aire ya? Sí, esto está en el aire porque me acabo de oír. ¿Qué tenemos? Guerrilla Colective, parte 1. Mundos infrahumanos y posiblemente lo peor que me vaya a encontrar el día de hoy. Voy a poner aquí una música a todo. Voy a ponerme las gafas y a ver qué voy a ver. Vale, 30 segundos, no estoy preparado para esto. No estoy preparado para esto. Yo nunca he estado preparado para esto. No, y sigo sin estar preparado para esto. Gracias, amor. Tengo mi amor para que me esté controlando un poco el tema de qué hago con mi vida y que no me apuñale la cabeza yo solo, porque...
No dejaría que le hicieras.
Eso ya está para más tarde, no estamos en... Venga. Guerrilla Colective. Madre de Dios. Y yo con todo sin preparar. Bueno, a ver. Reculamos un poco. Vale, esta vez, por lo visto, no son dos que sea el japonés y el otro, no. Uno. Y yo, Blessed. Porque no tengo que desbocarme de a dónde tengo que ir, cuál miro, cuál tengo que actualizar y qué es lo que está pasando en mi cara. Vamos a ver qué tiene de Guerrilla Colective. No sé, no han dicho nada de cuánto va a ser.
Yes, of course. And as I said, this is our second annual. That was like a nice little grip. As I said, this is our second annual Guerrilla Colective event, which was initially started as a global coalition of leading game studios, publishers, and industry leaders coming together to help bring new announcements.
Voy a poner el directo para poder leeros. Espero que no hayáis empezado a hacer locuras. ¡Ah! ¡Mierda! Aquí estoy, ahora sí, perdón. Que no me he dado cuenta. Vale, ya está la cámara puesta. ¡Ah, qué guapo, tío! Buah. Vale, vale, esos son el horario de hoy. Y el otro es en un par de meses.
Before we get started, we have to give a huge shout out to our sponsors. PlayStation, Xbox, Kickstarter, Razer, Astro Gaming, our fellow devs and publishers, Two Awesome Studio,
Creo que
All-In Games,
ya tengo, no.
Humble Games, Goblin Studio,
Creo que ahora sí tengo el chat.
Hype Train Digital,
Si habláis, creo que me sale. Y si no... Vale, estupendo, on point. O vamos a llorar, o a sorprendernos, o a hacer el neto y... Yo voy a disfrutar de todo.
Be sure to check out the Guerrilla Collective event page on Steam, where you can learn more about these games, the games that you can buy right now, and some of the games coming up in the future you can wishlist now. So check out the event page, Guerrilla Collective on Steam.
Yeah, make sure to do that.
Lo mejor es el
Shout out
trato.
to
Half-Life
Valve
3, claro que sí,
working
no
with
me
us,
ría.
and also all of our other platform partners as well. Shout out to our broadcasting partners for supporting the showcase and the developers on the stream. We couldn't do it without you. Twitch, Steam, IGN, and of course, GameSpot. They have helped to host the stream, and it is super amazing. Enough of all that, though. Let's get started with our first set of games with a few brand new exclusives, catching up with the adorable creatures in the world of Eternal Cylinder, and checking out an update for a beloved Metroidvania, as well as some up-and-coming
Mundo Metroidvania.
Without further ado, let's go.
Eneino mutaciones. Mutaciones, vale. Bueno, tú, tiene estilo retro, no pixel, pero retro. El simbolito de Steam ahí abajo, retro.
Me acuerdo de Antonio y de David.
Gracias,
Bastante.
me imagino. ¿Qué es esto? ¿Qué es esto?
¿Elisa va cuándo va a ser?
Bueno, pero si tenemos bichos grandes, qué bonito. Ay, qué lindo. El otro creo que se ha olvidado de cerrar el destino. Está como... ¿es un enemigo bugueado o algo? A ver, por lo poco que estoy viendo... Fantástico.
O sea que te encanta.
Por ahora sí. Ostras, te acaban de hacer un juego todo guapo, ¿eh? Madre mía.
No, no paso.
¿Eh?
No paso. Hermano. Pero puedes seguir viéndolo.
Ya, bueno. No me preocupa.
Ay, ¿qué?
Voy a quedar un momento ahora si yo para ver esto. Eso es un... Entra y fuerte. Pues la nueva mutación me gusta mucho lo que estoy viendo. Me recuerda de hecho mucho al Metal Gear. ¿Cuál era el que tengo yo con un colega? El Metal Gear este que llevas a Raiden, no me acuerdo cómo se llama, lo tengo por ahí. En un momento puedo cogerlo. Me gusta mucho porque es esa forma. World Premiere, vale, dime lo importante. ¿Dónde sale? Dime que el logo que he visto no era lo que creo haber visto porque me suicido. Ah, no. He visto como una especie de logo de Stadia, quiero pensar que no. Metroidvania. Esto es Metroidvania, a mí me va a poner muy poderosa. Es que es puro Castlevania. Da unos zorro para mí, tío. Esto da unos zorro. Voy a poner el chat ahí. ¿Oís eso? Es lo que tengo golpeando aquí abajo. ¡El Shovel Knight! ¡Qué guapo! O sea, que está también... Tienen también el cambio de Shovel Knight. Me dicen que es Bluestainer y me lo creo. Ahora me dicen que es Cuphead y extrañamente también me lo creo. Bluestainer Ritual of the Night. Stadia, bueno. Solo Stadia, que ya no sirve para nada. exclusivo de Stadia, entonces. O este siguiente es exclusivo. Vamos a ver qué es esto. Equipo Ace.
In the Eternal Cylinder, players will have to explore a vibrant alien world teeming with strange
The Eternal
survival is a
Cylinder.
constant challenge, as different natural biomes each bring their own unique obstacles to overcome. For
Es
example,
un bicho con dos patas y
the
una
extreme
trompa de
heat of this
elefante.
desert environment will quickly make
Que
your
creo que come
noodle.
fuego.
Luckily, the Trebhum are resourceful creatures with the unique ability to spontaneously evolve, if you feed them right. However, environmental conditions are only one of the many dangers you will face, as the world is filled with
entiendo nada.
dangerous creatures, some
No entiendo
natural,
nada.
some not. The strangest of these creatures have the ability to remove your mutations, threatening your ability
Excuse
to
me.
survive in multiple ways. Learning all the surprising ways to interact with the creatures of this world is key to survival, as they are an essential source of vital
¿Qué es
resources.
esto?
To find a way of surviving the unstoppable threat of the Eternal Cylinder, you will have to keep
Ojo
exploring,
adentro, venga.
keep discovering. After all, there's an important trait that humans and Trebhum have in common: curiosity.
Para Epic Games. Para PS4 y para Xbox One. Vale. Sin más.
The common fox, one of nature's symbols.
¡El zorrillo! ¡Zorrillo!
Diversity with cunning, dexterity, and backpack
What the-
miniguns.
Three Fox.
There's nothing common about this fox.
Acá Sololt.
Hey everyone.
O Sololt. No sé. Bueno, a ver. El Three Fox este es todo raro. Voy a engañar. Voy a ir muy claro. Es todo raro. O sea, es un zorro que tiene trajes, habilidades de cosas y dispara con ametralladoras.
And that's pretty much how it came to life.
No sé.
My only goal with the game is for people to have fun, to have a good time. Nowadays more than ever. So thank you so much for having me here and for showcasing my game. Take care and bye bye.
Acá Solotl y en Steam. Bajo un pollo. ¡Ay, el vídeo ese del bichillo que es perfectamente un meme que es como rosa y tiene como camitas a los lados! Vaya. Fight for your meal. Unique explorador area. Es un dungeon crawler. Tú vas a ir tu tirador. Tons of war of weapons. Kyoto skins saludables. Local de entre 2 a 4. Opa Team, me gusta. Bueno, Metroidvania, ya está. Pero con una chica pelirroja bastante sexy. ¡Que se cae al suelo! Se llama Evi. No Evi. Ah, vale. Que es un árbol de habilidades, digo, como se hace un mapa, somos magos, Oh, habilidades cosas guapas. Nube de Wildyard. Mira, Switch, Steam y Play 4 o 5.
I don't know about you, Alex, but I'm looking forward to not getting steamrolled by a giant cylinder.
Ah, sí, el stream anterior fue un poco peor, ¿ves? Este parece ser que va mejor. Y por ahora lo que he visto de este me gusta bastante, así que gracias por pasarte y espero que más o menos vayas entendiendo lo poco que estoy viendo y que lo pueda transmitir bien.
As well as showing some love to a couple of games.
Ahora que tengo el móvil aquí al lado para que
Freshman Class 2021. Let's start with a kick-ass trailer and hop into some more games.
No sé si ya se activan. A ver, siguiente. Moroi. Uy, bueno. Bueno. Me recuerda esto a... ¿Cómo se llama? Bueno, los personajes dan miedo. Pero me recuerda en ese sentido al Don't Starve, a lo mejor en el sentido de lluvia y demás, pero es vista alta, 4 armas, mazo de malos más feos que la katana, completamente sacados del infierno. Sonríe. Qué sonrisa. ¿Por qué te estás dando en la mano con una bola con pinchos? O sea, tienes una maza con pinchos y lo que mejor te ocurre es hacerte daño con ella. Está hecho como un Real Engine. Qué miedo, tío. Esto tiene la misma pinta, pero está mejor. Torre del dolor. Pasar la puerta, acceder a la luna. ¿Qué eres? ¿Vas de rojo y llevas algo pululando por al lado? ¿Qué eres? ¿La muerte de Link? Eres Link versión muerto. Ah, que tienes también cosas que atacan por ti. No atacas tú, no, por ti. Porque que es mejor que ataquen por ti que atacan tú. Que ataquen por ti. Hay muchos tipos de armas. Source of Madness en Steam. Lo puedes enlistar ya.
Hi, my name is David.
Bueno.
I'm co-founder and 3D artist at Bleakmill, and we are developing Industria, a mystery first-person shooter in which a woman searches for her work colleague in a parallel dimension.
De los de coger cosas y hacer cosas.
The game is a lot inspired by Half-Life 2, BioShock, and the works of David Lynch. In this video, we want to give you an exclusive insight into what we are working on right now. First thing to show is the new enemy type we call the Hound. They feature a pack behavior, means they have a leader and the other in the pack just follow that leader. They are quick, agile and harm the player a lot with their saw blades.
El momento baladeo. Recárgalo, niño. Ahí está.
The second thing we want to show you is the
optic,
which you can see right now.
Pero te quieren cubrir, amigo. ¡Madre mía, los botes del con! Hola Ricardo, hola Yagia, estamos aquí viendo unos guapos juegos. Este pinta muchísimo mejor que el anterior. Este pinta muchísimo mejor. Este pinta, o sea, me gusta lo que estoy viendo.
We also want to show you new environments, such as this abandoned apartment building in the city of Hokkavik. Hundreds and thousands of people lived in the city, which is now abandoned and filled with robots that want to kill the player. Throughout the game, the player will slowly find out why the robots are here, where they come from, and what they have to do
para que no sea tan angosto todo.
To play a character.
Está guay. Tiene todo lo puro de Bioshock, tío, me flipa. No como el otro que era como...
If you want to support us, feel free to wishlist Industria on Steam.
Industria, para el tercer cuarto de 2021. Digo, para el tercer cuarto.
And see you next time.
O sea, para el mes del 7 al 9.
Look at this place. This place is definitely not what it used to be. It's like a snake, shedding its skin over and over again.
¿Qué pinta esto? ¿Una historia de romance ir al cuerno? ¿Una pérdida de algo? ¿O muy triste? Una persona muy triste porque ha puesto toda su muñeca haciendo la tele. Gente que se evapora. Espectros de crema nuclear. Creo que son enemigos de Pluto, como criaturas de plutonio. La foto de su supuesta novia o algo. Disparos. ¡Hala! Que tiene la gema y está aquí en el ojo. ¿Qué hace? ¿Por qué? Va a tener en la pierna, por lo menos, yo que sé. A lo mejor la pierna de repente. ¿Qué pegas patadas de la leche? Madre de Dios. Chernobylit. Para Steam y creo que para Switch, pero no estoy seguro. Wow. Golpes. Eso, ahora mismo lo que está haciendo mi miembro ahora mismo. Está golpeando la mesa, pero vamos. Golpes. ¿Qué está pasada? ¡Ah, no, por favor! ¡El momento del descanso está haciendo! ¡Un momento! Dios mío. Me encanta. O sea, perfectamente podría ser el Metal Gear que tengo, el que salió, el que dije yo antes que mencioné que iba con Raiden, pero combinado perfectamente con el Sword Online, el Fatal Bullet, perfectamente. Ultra Age en otoño.
Two-story motel in El Paso, Texas that gained another 46 stories yesterday, all below ground.
Desde Meridian.
It's extremely haunted.
¿Qué es esto? Bueno, AK, MP40, pistola, un señor, no hay más. Una escopeta, ya está, esto va a ser bueno. ¿Dónde pistolas? Nada, esto es una fantasía de entonces. Ha ido evolucionando con cada arma que me han enseñado. Explosiones, ya está. Goti. Y el tío se lanza sin miedo. Pues toma. Venga. Chupe balas. Hasta luego.
Would you believe that this is a love story?
El paso, el Where. En Steam para enlistar.
Olá, eu sou Will Fernandes, game designer e diretor criativo de Aderente. De Lovecraft a
Enderland. Este es como Lovecraft y Symphony of the Night de Castlevania. No sé.
Mas também incluímos um toque moderno ao jogo.
Este estuvo en boca creo que bastante por Twitter. Puedes mejorar tu personaje, tu nivel, de habilidades, cosas, consigues tesoros, fantasías animadas de héroe y esto lo estamos viendo. El skill basado en combate, vale. Bien. ¿Cómo el de Land? A ver. Wishlist Today. Se pueden listar. ¿Cómo se juega este tipo de juegos? No pienses que estás pulsando, tú pulsa botones y haz cosas. Correr ahora. Llegar así, ya. Obstacles. Goals. Ah, vale. No son juegos, son modos de juego como tal. Un robot o el parkour. Primera persona, se ve. Primera persona. Plataforma de supervivencia 10. Trabajo. Run day, run again. ¡Wow! Hay uno en plan super lejos.
Welcome to the grid. Just tell me what I gotta do. Defeat new enemies.
Toma. Por poli.
Go and save Cora.
Black Boys in Gaming. Oh.
What is popping? I am here with Ariel Knight, Neil Jones, who just released his game. What's up, man? What's up, dude? He just released his game, Never Yield, and you know it's been blazing up these streets, especially as far as like you've got mad press and everything. But we're here to talk about Black Voice in Gaming. Freshman class and really how that came together because it's been a real magical experience. So can you kind of talk about that and like what it is?
Yeah, so Black Voices in Gaming freshman class was an idea where we kind of reach out to the upcoming games made by Black talent in the game development space in the game industry. When I first thought of it, I really wanted it to be kind of like just something to highlight all of these games that were coming out relatively soon and show that like all of these creators in this space, we're all in it together and we support each other rather than it being some kind of competition and, you know, only highlighting one or two people. We can all support each other because there's room enough for everybody. So, and then when, you know, we talked about the idea, you definitely just like took it and ran with it and put the whole thing together, and reaching out to everybody with you was like really amazing. Everything went really smoothly. So if you haven't checked out the list yet, you know, I don't know if it's posted in the comments or anything like that, but just look up Black Voices in Gaming Freshman Class. It should pop up, and all of those amazing games are there.
Yeah, you can also check it out on blackvoicesandgaming.com. That kind of like really jump-started that website too. We had it kind of cooking up since the last Guerrilla Collective, but really wasn't able to really put it into full effect until we did launch the freshman class. And I can say it was amazing. Like Neil had, like, I think we were just eye to eye, you know what I mean? Just thinking about this stuff, because the freshman class really came from the Double XL, which I'm a huge hip hop head, and I used to, like, I couldn't wait and to see that cover, and to see who was on it. I mean, until like maybe it got crazy, like a bunch of like mumble rap stuff that I didn't even know about, but that's besides the point, you know.
Yeah, man, it was really exciting. Especially when we started off with a lot smaller group, just like people we kind of knew of, you know, closely, that was a part of the Guerrilla Collective.
No voy a decir que los de son los mejores porque los de Devolver
you kind of reached out
los tengo de ver todos
like really packed
por encontrárselo exactamente en el que la presentadora una persona está hablando más y luego la presentadora al parecer le ve un oportunidad es como trabajador, ¿por qué? Tiene sentido lo de Devolver de verdad.
Yeah, it's really cool to have that community. Like, I don't know, it's just Neil's been, you know, hooking me up with contacts of people I should connect with to you know, get press or, you know, for potential business deals and you know, vice versa. And we met like a year ago, actually, like on stream was the first time that we talked. So like kind of to throw it back to this was kind of dope, you know.
Yeah, man. Like, and I think like the more like Black people in this game industry, because we're so spread out. Like, there's a lot of us, but you know, we're all over the place and we don't really know each other in that way. So like, the more of a community we have, and the more of us, the more we can support each other and help each other. You know, my whole thing, the whole reason behind this was just to like be like, hey, look at all these other games that, you know, we're often on the list together, like
aquí es donde los juegos la gente dice, os sacamos el puente de mitad. Aquí nos sacamos los juegos. Lo que no se hemos sacado en todo el año menos Nintendo, que lo sacan las 3 meses. Aquí están en nosotros. Nos ponemos en el escenario, nos bajamos los pantalones y decimos, esto es lo que tenemos.
These creators, the idea, they sent us the concept for, you know, what character they wanted to be a part of the poster, and they just kind of like let us do our thing.
Yes, it's super cool to see the different art styles and the different types of games that we're making. They're not all the same, and I think that sometimes we get pigeonholed into like making a certain type of game. So like to see, you know, Onsen Master, where you're like, you know, you're managing a natural spring, like, you know, bathhouse, like that's what, like, who would have thought that someone would make that, let alone, you know, a Black game developer. And I'm making a freaking Jay and Silent Bob game, so no one knows that I'm, you know, I'm Black, or my team is, you know, has like, is extremely diverse. Like, James is, you know, he's also gay, and he's a Black man in Georgia, and he's like our art director. Like, we got Evan Washington, who's going to be on the stream, and he worked at Sony, and he's also a producer on our team. Like, but we're making a Jay and Silent Bob game, and you're like, what the hell? Like, those are like two white dudes, you know, dudes portrayed as potheads, and it's like, okay, but that's what we decided to make at that moment. We'll definitely get into like more thematic, like culturally relevant stuff for us, but that was what we were working at the time. So it's so interesting, like that culmination, and also to see, you know, just in general, like the lack of access that some of us have had in the industry. Like some of us have been in the industry and playing that game, you know, the political game for a while, but a lot of us haven't and are making like dope ass games, like Adam Kareem, right? He's in software, but this is like really his first time in you know, in the business. So like he's asking all these questions and stuff, you know?
Yeah, and it just shows, you know, that no matter what your background, where you're from, like we are down to connect with you, to support you. I will say, if we do like another list, I now that, you know, the first list is out there and like people kind of know about it and it has a little bit of attention, the other Black creators out there who, you know, that we aren't connected with, because, you know, we only know who we know. We want y'all to reach out to us and, you know, say, hey, what's up? And, you know, anything that we can do to help you, we want to do that. But, you know, like this first list, it was like really quick. We did this in like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
So it was like really fast forwarded. So we just want to reach out to more people of all like Black backgrounds and like kind of just make sure that we can support you the best we can.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, we shouted him out before, but I want to shout out Humble for helping support like the Black Voice in Gaming. If it wasn't for, you know, Humble, Kickstarter, Raw Fury, those folks, we wouldn't be able to, you know, basically fund that whole thing, you know, that whole promotion, you know, and also, you know, I'm one of the advisors on the Black Game Developer Fund for Humble, so I'm always trying to find. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm flexing right now, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like we would love to get in contact with more developers. We have, you know, a Discord server that we're communicating on. It's blowing up. I know it's blowing Neil up while he's like working on his stuff. But we're just here really to help and boost the confidence and exposure for everyone. So yeah, it's been really dope.
Yeah, because you know, we haven't really run into any problems. It's been super chill, and like we're just trying to keep that momentum going, because
y luego en esta situación gana el que sea capaz de poner el meñique lo más alto posible. El que lo tenga más alto posible gana la partida. El que tenga el meñique más alto gana.
We all in the same place. And like the streamers really came out and supported us too when we kind of put this list out there. And if you didn't know about the list, so like keep a lookout for the next one. I don't know when that's going to be, whenever
we'll try to do it again, but probably once a year, but maybe we could do it twice, because there's some folks that we kind of left out there dropping in 2021, 2022. So
yeah, that was the point I was making. Like we did miss people, and it wasn't intentional. It was just like, you know, it was fast moving. We were trying to get this thing out, and we only know so many people. You know, we only got so many connections, but we wanted to expand that to like as many people as we can.
Yeah, for sure. So where can the folks find you, Neil?
Oh, you can find me at Ariel_Knight on Twitter and everywhere else.
Cool, man. Thanks for joining us, yeah, make sure to check out Black Voice in Gaming.
Como podcast en Spotify o algo.
The Guerrilla Collective is dope. You did way more work than I did, but I just appreciate you know, taking like this idea and just running with it and doing your thing.
For sure. And we got the Black Voice in Gaming coming up pretty soon. So make sure to check out that. I just wanted to make sure to talk to Neil, and it's been awesome. So I'll catch you later, man. All right, man. All right. Peace.
Bueno, que seguimos, chavales. Volvemos con los
also follow up with teams like Retro Ninja with their game Run Die Run Again to see how their game is coming together as they iterate on the design mechanics and just overall graphics. El Paso Elsewhere and Run Die Run Again.
Madre mía, compañero, qué locura.
Developers who were also included in Black Voice in Gaming freshman class. The Black Voice in Gaming stream was first started last year's Guerrilla Collective during the time of civil unrest. Check out the Black Voice in Gaming post show.
Stay tuned.
After the show?
Faux show.
Up next, We have a few exclusives on the
Ah,
RPG strategy.
joder, qué troleros son, madre mía. Vaya unos troles.
Slash into those pieces right now.
Check it.
Check it.
Butt naked.
Vaya.
Okay, people, listen up.
You have done your running?
About the kill, but engineers will be killed. And you volunteer for law.
Hey. Cagaste. Un constructor de mazmorra. Guay, tiene mazo de peña. Tiene muchas clases. Muchas armas y demás. Oh, Shiny. Todavía no. Es cierto porque esto. Y muchos monstruos. Oh, Dios. Doy miedo o algo. Morlock. No, misiones. DLCs incluidos. Nice. Ahí el típico tocando la alfa. Y lo tendrán Ultimate Edition coming en 2021. World Premiere. Dale caña. 505 games, hace muy buenos juegos. Beautiful Love.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
Our lands teemed with creatures
Una especie de ave vuela y nos encontramos con bestias muy raras. Una casa de caramelo, Hansen dentro. Una señora se encuentra una gema en un algo muy raro y el suelo se empieza a pegar con los pies. Una aldea top guapa. Me dices que está lleno de nieve y te digo que eso es Andorra. Ramas con espinas, perfectamente podría ser lo que le pasó a My Little Pony. El bosque siempre libre, lleno de ramas oscuras y demás, perfectamente. Y me lo creería. Algo pasó y empezaron a desaparecer. Pero no todo se perdió. ¡Ostras! Un libro con cara. ¡Ah! ¡Facebook! Miguel, ya, córtate. Córtate, narices. Que no paras con las plumas. ¡Buah! Instalación. Trasplante de plantas. Música. O notas musicales. Hay algo ahí. ¿Qué es esto? Para Switch, para Steam, para Xbox One y para PS4, Grow. Son of the Evertree. Y pasamos de repente a un 2D. 2D scroll lateral. ¡Corre, chaval! Que la otra se va andando. Y te va a alcanzar igual.
Medium plus demon of destruction! The gates have fallen! Heroes are rampaging the temple! We need a miracle! More blood? We could offer you many things. Gold, beasts, shows, or...
Tío, tienes garras. Arranca de la cara, por Dios. Bueno. Adiós. Te tiras, te moriste. Hasta luego, toma la sangre. Te va a tirar, estaba claro. Mira un poco también a tu espalda, asústate, vive la vida mal. Es que no miras. Buah, inmunidades. Espérate que esto empieza a ponerse cortito, ¿Oís eso? Yo tampoco, porque tampoco. Legend of the Keeper. En el tercer cuarto del 2021. Esto...
Once upon a time, three
One time otra vez.
lived together in the woods.
Tiene una amistad
They settled and lived a
alta.
wonderful life, building their
A ver,
home,
¿cómo definir? Es una vista que no es
any weather,
ni
and
así
explored distant
ni así.
lands
Es como...
in search of new resources and
Diría-
hidden treasures.
Sí.
Welcome to Tinkertown.
Tinkertown.
My name is Julian and I'm with Head Up, the publisher and
Eres
developer
Julian y nos vas a
behind the
explicar todo el
charming
tema del
Pixel
juego, ¿verdad?
RPG.
Pongámonos como los amigos.
Tinkertown went into early access last November
Ven aquí,
2020. We've continuously updated the game.
Los dedillos de
We've
pizza.
added more customization options, new items,
Dale caña,
from weapons,
Brewston.
housing to decorations, farming, fishing, cooking, as well as more game mechanics. And as we've been developing with you, the community, we've decided to give the next update some more awesome features you've been waiting for. So beware of the Desert Dungeon. The Desert Dungeon not only delivers new enemies, but with it, we've added behavior trees to all our NPCs, making them more aware of the surroundings and more challenging. Be cautious when entering the dungeon, as it is filled with new mechanics. Most prominent traps, poisonous arrow traps, and monster ambers are only a few of what is to come. And a powerful boss awaiting you. The new patch will be available for you to play on June 16th. See you in Tinkertown.
Viene el 16 de junio. ¿Hay un exclusivo?
We are the Zodiac Legion.
Zodiac Legion.
Our enemies beset us on all sides. Once our knightly brotherhood stood as a bulwark against the forces of evil. But when the stars abandoned the world, we were left weak, divided, and lost. We could rely only on the strength of our arms and eternal devotion to our cause. But today, the tides of magic course to the land once again, and we are ready to reclaim our lost heritage. We have taken the fight to the enemy. Empowered by the Zodiac, our champions can bend the battlefield to their will, shattering the enemy's formations with magic and vanquishing their minions with righteous fury. We explore ancient ruins in search of forgotten artifacts to support our war effort, slaying the horrors that stand in our way. Yet some of these abominations may prove more than a match. And our brothers may bear the ultimate sacrifice to bring about victory for the entire order. The blood of the fallen shall inspire the rest of us to carry on. As we grow stronger in the ways of the Zodiac, we learn how to adapt our approach. The spirit of Taurus allows our warriors to break through stone, giving their comrades the opportunity to flank the enemy and drive a salient into their defenses in a single mighty charge. With the foe's shield wall in disarray, nothing can stop us from delivering the killing blow. But we won't win through bold deeds alone. We need to equip our champions for the many tasks that lie ahead and choose our battles wisely. The dungeons of our adversaries still hold our long-lost brothers, whose zeal could not be quenched even by death. We must rescue them and secure their escape by any means if we are to deliver them safely to our citadel, where their wisdom will drive our scholars towards new discoveries. Yet the engines of war grind on through all the lands. The enemy seeks to flood us with even more misshapen monstrosities, while we drown them in a rain of fire. We are the Zodiac Legion. We are the light of hope, a glow in the dark of night. And we will not falter as long as the stars guide our blades.
Zodiac Legion para Steam.
That was awesome. So many great games in every genre. I'm really happy to see the new ideas and remixes of styles come into the mix this summer.
Yeah, such dope stuff. Next up, we have a cornucopia of lighthearted and Twitch action games that will test your hand and eyeball coordination, have you competitive with your friends, and put a big smile on your face. Let's kick it.
Exclusivo. De Xbox. Lucha espacial, hay naves, es de espacio. Desbloquea habilidades y armas. Madre mía, vaya cuadrado. Pero eso no lo he pillado mucho porque es inglés. Oye, un juego así en plan de chileo para estar matando navecillas y demás. Super Space Club. Tarde en 2021. Por lo que pinta parece que eso va a ser para la Microsoft. Wacky no ni. Verás tú esto. Wildstorm Games. Ah, todavía no es el nombre del juego, vale, perdón. Onsen Master. Ese es el nombre. ¡Oh! ¿Qué me recuerda esto? Me recuerda como al Overcooked, pero me voy a equivocar completamente de juego. Una chica llamada Mu, al parecer. Y una especie de Mike Wazowski un poco más terrorífico. ¿Es un Overcooked? Es que lo peor es que me lo dices y me lo creo. Claro, me dices también que para cocinar tempura cuando me lo estoy leyendo. Viene en 2021. ¿Cómo se llamaba el mapa este del Smash que es en las hojas? Pues me recuerda a ese juego, tío. Es una especie de círculo, pero también hay un meteorito que está cayendo y hay un dragón hecho raro, pero el círculo es lo importante y llega el meteorito, lo parte todo y se crea algo. Y el dragón luego tiene habilidades en plan de... ¡Uy! Corre. O toma. Ah, vale. No entiendo nada. English. Old now. Bueno, corre, madre mía, madre de Dios. Pues no corre que sea, espera el bicho. Ah, es como para que la gravedad no le afecte. Vamos para allá. Vale, él. Steam, itch.io, que no sé qué es. Vamos con otro exclusivo. Vamos.
Hi, I'm Anima from Happy Broccoli Games. We're a small studio based in Berlin. We're a bunch of weird people making an even weirder game called Kraken Academy. It's a high school adventure that is coming out later this year. You're the new kid at school who is tasked to save the school from doom and destruction by a huge magical kraken with Big Dad.
Con un kraken de verdad.
This is a love letter to 90s anime and Zelda Majora's Mask. So if you like any of those two things, you should definitely check it out. I'm super excited to show you today, for the first time ever, our hand-animated trailer that we commissioned to showcase the game. Now, it's a really big deal for us to have such an awesome trailer, so I really hope you enjoy it. If you like what you see, don't forget to wishlist, it really helps us out. Thank you so much.
Breve, concisa. ¡Ay, me flipa! Ay, son como fruitos o una chica brócoli y viajas para hablar en un cuadro en Steam. Lo mejor que he visto, la intro parece perfectamente en ese sentido. Bueno, pelea. Dragon Ball baloncesto, me flipa, porque estoy viendo por ahí una especie de Krillin, un Motenroy. Pero el Krillin es... Y él, los 6 puntitos aquí, en la frente... Solo que supongo que para copyright no la han igual, pero nos mola. Es baloncesto, hay un abuelo Motenroy muy raro. Viejo maestro. El boxador borracho o algo así. Monk, Krillin, Assassin, Asesino. Buah. Buah.
Kung Fu Kickball is a team-based fighting sports game where the best ball kicker wins. You gotta punch, kick, and headbutt your way across the field.
Son como equipos de 2 contra 2, un balón de fútbol que se meten de guantazos o guantacean el balón. No sé. De verdad, son como 2 para 2. Que tienes de guantazos para meter el balón, para que un balón toque una campana. Una campana que está arriba en una portería que perfectamente, yo que sé. Wow. Que tenemos el Rey Mono. Tenemos aquí a Zumbucón, perfectamente. Y en el momento en que el balón toca la campana, es una especie de gol. También te digo que el balón tiene como menos gravedad que el delantero. También hay un oso panda. Toma, campanazo, gol, venga. Toma, guantazo. En Switch, en PSP, en PlayStation y en Xbox. No está en Steam. Sorprendente. Iron Drive.
My name is David Jimenez, game director at Duos Muscle. I'm
David Jimenez.
Our new game, Iron Drive, a new chapter in the story of Jacqueline, our main heroine. Iron Drive is a stylish speedrunning platformer set on the streets of Cyberpunk City near Barcelona. With it, we want to show you a bit of our city in a different light than
Barcelona.
In Iron Drive, you can rush your way through its areas solo or with 4 people in co-op. Iron Drive is coming out later this year for PC and all major consoles, with the help of our publishing partner, Critical Reflex. Check out the new trailer for the game. We hope you like it.
El tío es español, eso seguro. El juego mola un montón. Y mola que te elijan como ciudad como Cyberpunk o futurista, Barcelona. Me parece maravilloso ya. ¿Ya con eso?
No time to waste then.
Buah, muy rápido, Me gusta, cuando un juego es muy rápido es como... Tienes que tener ahí la skill, ¿no? Empezar a controlar, saberse los controles, saltar, el saber meter eso, saltar... ¡Oh! Cooperativo para 4. Uno va por arriba y se te pega por las barras, el otro va por abajo cubriendo, el otro va por arriba y el otro va a buscar un potenciador que perfectamente sea un mejor cañón o un salud. Switch, PlayStation, Xbox y Steam. Dimension Drive. Play now on Steam del 5 al 7 de manera por una semana gratis.
I can't even believe the type of game. It's just phenomenal. Before we move on to the next segment, we want to say thanks to our broadcasting partners, Twitch, GameSpot, Valve, and IGN. Thank you so much for supporting and hosting the stream. We also want to thank all of our other sponsors here. They're coming up right now. They're so amazing. We love you guys so much. Over the years, we've seen some exciting releases from some of the most amazing developers that have blessed the Guerrilla Collective and other mix events, as well as the other events that have been popping up digitally all year.
Yes. And up next, we have a collection of action and exploratory adventure games that are going to tug on your heartstrings, Justin.
They are definitely making me pitter-patter.
They will. And we'll also check out a couple of updates on some award-winning games that are soon to become contemporary classics.
Let's do this.
¡Que vengo justo a tiempo! ¡Con el agua, amigo!
Imagine that humanity, in its ceaseless quest to ravage the planet, has driven one of the most adaptable creatures in the animal kingdom, the fox.
Es una especie como de zorrito muy pequeñito.
As the last fox on Earth, you're fighting for survival in search of the rare sources of food left in this dying world.
Es una trampa. Es un juguete que salta, anda con una cuerda para traer al zorrito y lo van a capturar. No, no te vayas, zorrito.
Until that fateful day, when something or someone takes one of your young foxes.
Cagaste. Esa debe ser la madre, se ha enterado que está su pequeñín.
But as long as there's hope, the vixen will try everything to get it back. This is where your keen sense of smell comes in handy. You can sense the smell of your cub, and can even sense some traces left behind.
Bueno, espérate. La madre de poder. Ya está. La cocaína ya ha llegado.
It's also very useful to find prey, as animals also leave a trace you can smell and follow. And you will need that skill, because your other cubs still need your attention. As they grow up, they will leave the shelter and accompany you on your nightly adventures.
Qué satisfacción es ver cómo cae el agua en la garra.
They are new to this world, so keep the little ones close and safe. Over time, they will learn essential life skills and can do their part for the survival of the group.
Pero bueno, no os preocupéis, que a lo mejor me tenéis aquí leyendo agua como un desgraciado. Esta hora porque tengo sed.
When perilous traps and other predators threaten your cubs.
Está buenísimo, pero
But during the day, the most dangerous predators of them all start roaming the world.
Ay, eso es el pejillo. ¡Bum! Algo pasa. Bueno.
It's your job to guide your vulnerable cubs safely through the dystopian future of an exploited Earth. On your journey to the last safe haven, you must
¡Corred, pequeños niños! ¡Corred!
Survive. This is Endling.
¿Cómo se llama esto? Endling. Steam TV Forever. Steam, PS4, Xbox One, Switch.
Hi all, I'm Michelle, the game director of Beasts of Maravilla Island, a 3D adventure game about discovering extraordinary creatures, learning their behaviors, and most importantly,
fantasía de criaturas. Esto puede salir muy bien o muy mal.
Today I'm going to show off some content from a zone we haven't shared much gameplay of before, the Glimmering River. This
como que salta pero sin flexionar, como
from mushroom frogs to bats
with hacerlo, de saltar, pero sin doblar las rodillas.
Each of these critters has a unique reaction to Marina. We can't wait for you to find and photograph them all. The Glimmering River features puzzles where you must cooperate with the animals in the area in order to progress. For example, using the Maravian scaled otter, or as we like to call him, the otter dials, playful spin behavior to grow flowers.
¡Dobla las rodillas, niño! ¡Niña! ¡Dobla las rodillas!
There's a game of fetch that you get to play with the otter dial. If you wait for just the right moment, you can catch a shot of him doing an impressive backflip before diving down into the water to fetch his toy. This is one of the many opportunities to engage with creatures in meaningful and non-violent ways in store for you on Maravilla Island. Beasts of Maravilla Island is coming soon to Nintendo Switch, Xbox, PlayStation 4, and PC. We're so excited to see the amazing photos that you take.
Vale, pero quiero Beasts of Maravilla Island. O sea, bestias de la isla maravillosa. Suena perfecto. Fantástico, Y ahora dinosaurios. Muy raros. Dinosaurios inexistentes, diría yo. Ay, gracias. Bueno, vuelta para adelante, para adelante. No. Al contrario, me está preocupando porque... Vale, ya está. Vale, perdón. Ah, que también vuela con la varita, estupendo. Omno, Steam, Play, Xbox y Switch. Maya. Oh, en plan... super ochentero ahí. Ah, vale. Por ahora un problema es un diseño de esto, pero... Vale, vienes de... Me planto en el sofá y si no hay luz me pongo a ver la pantalla en negro de la tele y me veo tan ancho. Ole tú. No sé qué saco, pero qué coño. ¿Te estás cansado de ver la pantalla en negro de la tele? Fire Tonight, o sea, fuego de la noche, en PC y en Switch, en agosto, el 12 de agosto. The Lightbringer.
Hi, my name is Eleanor and I voice the sister in The Lightbringer. Today I'm giving you a quick deep dive into the game to take a closer look at the gameplay. The Lightbringer is a poetic adventure platformer with a heartfelt narrative presented entirely in verse. The world has been claimed by vile corruption, filling it with vicious, slimy beings. Your sister set out on a journey to rid the world of these evil entities, but somewhere along the journey, she vanished under unknown circumstances. Now the task of saving the world has fallen upon you. Guided by your sister's spirit, you aim to succeed where she could not. The goal of each level is to reach a monolith and cleanse it from the corruption that has taken control of it. You do this by collecting power in the form of light motes that are spread throughout the level, often cleverly hidden outside a beaten path. Best keep your eyes peeled. Your journey will take you through tropical islands, icy tundras, dark dungeons, and mountaintops high above the clouds, all with their own unique mechanics. Each level works as its own little world, filled with platforming challenges, puzzles, and enemies. Speaking of enemies, you'll often find yourself fighting the corruption, both smaller enemies as well as large sentinels brought to life by the corruption. These encounters will test both your skill and determination, and they will not give up without a fight. We hope you have enjoyed this quick presentation, and we look forward to showing you more this summer. As for the game's release date, it'll be out when it's out.
Para Steam y para Switch. Alfred Hitchcock.
Hi everyone, I am Josué Monchan. I'm narrative designer of Vertigo at Pendulum Studios. Vertigo is a narrative and adventure game freely inspired by the movie masterpiece directed by Alfred Hitchcock. The main themes of the game are roughly the same ones that appear in the movie: obsession, madness, manipulation, identity, and the confusion between imagination, dreams, memory, and reality. We've used a lot of Hitchcock's storytelling techniques, from his special use of suspense, the focus on the psychological side of action, his marriage, depiction of reality, and of course the MacGuffin. We've also been studying Hitchcock's camera work, subjective shots, his use of detail shots, and even the dolly zoom effect, also known as vertigo effect. In the movie, the spectator always knows more than the main character. You have to translate that into the game and let the player know more than the actual character that they are controlling.
Steam, PS5, PS4, creo que está para todas. PS5, PS4, Xbox One, CSS, X, Switch y Steam. Y no sé si algo más. Pendulum Studios. Para el Mac también, para un PC Mac, madre de Dios.
Amazing games. Of course, it's a pitter patter on my heart. It's just every time I'm like, feel like I'm getting a shot of adrenaline. Those are some awesome, maybe that's not adrenaline, but those were some awesome games. Next up, our friends at Neon Doctrine, formerly another indie, have joined us to show some of their amazing titles.
Let's check it out.
Now.
Let's check it out. Now. Señor, tiene los ojos morados. No te vi. Y una sonrisa un poco morada. Neon Doctrine. ¿Esto qué es? Vale, es una compañía.
Hey everyone, we are Neon Doctrine, purveyors of exquisite games from around the world. We hope you enjoy this showcase of our upcoming titles. Neon Doctrine is proud to be based in the city of Taipei, so it brings us great pleasure to introduce you to the legend of Tianjin. Set in Taipei and featuring Taiwan's most famous folk hero, we cannot wait for you to see the place we love and experience an interesting piece of local history.
Right, not yet ready.
Lucha por la justicia. Cosa de corrupción. Bueno, ¿a corrupción o a Jesucristo? Porque de verdad. Eso no lo he pillado, así que... ¡Ryu! ¡Rápido! ¡Hadouken! ¿Un héroe? ¿Leyenda? No sé si es como de héroe de leyenda o algo así. No sé si que realmente querría como... Bueno, el nombre lo tenemos. The Legend of Tianjin. En octubre para Switch y para Steam.
From the Far East to the countryside,
Steam se va a cargar de juegos.
Welcome you to Brown Hill Manor, where the science of the 19th century meets unspeakable ancient horror. Don't get lost now. You'll never know what you'll see if you open the wrong door. Without further ado, Lamentum awaits.
Lamentum.
No.
La cámara está ahí. Te está apuntando. Di hola.
No.
Vale.
Por ser voy a hacer.
¿Qué iba a decir? Tengo una lámpara de aceite, creo que también tengo una espada, pero no la muestro mucho. Tengo pesadillas muy locas en el juego. Estos muy raros. Bueno, tengo una pistola, soy Jesús. Un cuchillo de cocina, una espada que parece también de pirata. Se hace alquimia, tengo una pala para enterrar el cuerpo. No. El tío estaba excavando y he pensado que estaba enterrando un cuerpo, ya está. Pero el tío, ¿qué? ¿Cómo se habla,
¿Perdona? No.
Lamentum. O Lamentum.
Marriage, love, and devotion can lead to acts of personal sacrifice. But for my lovely wife's hero, these noble acts are twisted into acts of depravity. Would you be willing to betray and murder those who trust you in order to save your true love? How far would you go to bring back your lovely wife?
No la música, es un juego, ¿qué me he perdido? Un señor con un libro, es un estudioso, no soy yo. Me parece que a mí me está dando. Escucha, toma. Problema del tercer mundo, no pasa nada, ya estamos rotos. No sé, es el primer mundo que se me ha ocurrido. Creo que era el primer mundo. Problemas del primer mundo solucionados, perdona. Te saluda Ricardo.
Ay, no. Da igual.
Creo que es su forma de decirte hola, ¿qué tal? Pero bueno.
Exactamente.
No soy un diccionario humano animal,
Es un diccionario humano.
Yo no soy el traductor que habla de animal a humano y de humano a humano. Momento en que nos quedamos sin nuestro personaje. No, aquí estoy todos. Estoy aquí. Problemas del primer mundo, no pasa nada, ya está todo hecho. Buah, ¿qué es esto? Apuñalamiento, me gusta. My lovely wife. Mi romántica novia. Pues tiene cuchillos de
free-to-play multiplayer PvP shoot 'em up Retrograde Arena is available now on Nintendo Switch.
No, pero después de ver un tío que apuñala a su mujer, ¿qué me lo jodí? Retrograde Arena. ¿Qué es esto de Retrograde Arena? Geometry Wars Galaxy. ¡Ah, para Switch! Y es para Switch.
We have a friend we would like
Y
to
ya,
introduce you
te
to.
dicen
And
esto,
they
para
think it's
Switch.
best if he speaks for
Siguiente.
himself.
¡No! Se llama Tamarindo, si no sé qué más.
Hello, my name is Jacob Jazz, and I come here to tell you a story. This is the story of a pizza dude. That's what nobody ever knew, is that he was already dead when he died. He was dead when he died.
Cringe, W9, sí, o sea, qué cringe. Es como una pantalla con un tío rapeándote. Y los bichos tienen un aspecto más feos que cualquier otro juego, tío. Pero tienen de violentos lo que me vida de... De verdad, es un tío rapea... Es un tío en una pantalla y que con la música va cantando. A ver si lo escucháis. ¿Oí la música? No sé, nada más de cringe. Creepy no tanto porque el de Creepy es el de...
You can head over to our Discord or Guilded to talk to us, the developers who work with us, and our amazing community. But wait, what's this? We have a sneak peek of an unannounced title. I'm very happy to present to you Project Althea.
Project Althea. Es una chica con un logo oscuro, muy guapo, muy molón. Ya está. ¿Cómo se llama? Se llama así, pues toma. Ala, no necesitas más.
Thank you so much to all the developers and to you for tuning in. And make sure to check out the Steam Guerrilla Collective event page and wishlist some of these games.
Yeah, definitely support the developers. For our first day's finale,
que se meta el directo y que mire.
with our friends at Bit Summit, who will be showing some of the most inventive and interesting games coming out of Japan.
Y tengo que darme todas. Tenemos Right. Pulsa Start. Escrito todo en papel. ¡Ah, qué bonito! ¡Oh, qué bonito! ¡Ah! ¡Qué bonito! Perfectamente me dices con la música de un quest y me lo creo. ¡Ah, qué guapo! Un lápiz dibujando. ¡Señor Wright! ¡Adiós! Special Move Slot. ¡Boom! Un cojín de pedo siempre me hace gracia. ¡Toma! ¿Qué hace? Ah, vale, que es una maza y yo digo, ¿es un saco? Es una maza. Dispárale con esa pistola de cartón. ¡Pillum, pillum, pillum! Team, The Lane of Ride, coming en 2020. ¿Eh? Hola. Hay un cofre. Vaya, has caído. Hay un cofre. Tiene una ropa. Para que te pongas y te defiendas. Toma. Toma. Venga. Pum, pum. Pum, bam, bam. Oh, toma. Bueno, Doom. Te vas a pegar un pedazo de borrachera para intentar resolver los mapas. No te han dicho ni para cuándo. Live in Dungeon. Está todo en japonés. Entiendo. ¿Qué es esto? ¡Buah! ¡Que puedes jugar al golf! Increíble, ya está jugando. Vale, una chica que juega al golf. Pero también es pescadora. 2021, vale. Birdie. ¿Lo prendes, amigo? Sí, lo prendes. ¡Oh, artificiales! ¡Yupi! ¡Colores por todas partes! ¡Ole, ole, ole! ¿Qué le hace a la niña? RPG Golf Legends. ¡Me parto! ¡Buah! Un fighter de 3D, me gusta. Esta señora tiene unas frutas muy gelatinosas. Por no hablar así directamente de sus esquís. Uy, Lady Gato sacando garras, a ver. Me encanta siempre ver cómo gente se mete de espadazo, guantazos o lo que sea. Siempre puedo amar un videojuego de pelea. Pues toma, 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 toma. Barbarian. Este seguramente salió en el indie, en el que dejé de streamear porque me aburría.
You can already see it. But Whitewater Wipeout is a surfing game for the play date that pays homage to
What?
classic.
¿Qué mierda es eso?
Plus, it's made by
¡Es una Game Boy!
legend, Giles Goddard.
I'm current CEO, Giles Goddard.
We haven't announced it yet, dang it!
Phoenix.
Online Quiz Battle. Jugados de quizzes. Survival Quiz City. Memorizar. El personaje es muy Fall Guys. O pa'l suelo. ¡Puedo nadar y no me caen los pinchos!
Pero es el martes.
¿No te puedo ver antes?
Si quieres el lunes por la mañana, pues puedo entregar esto.
Tú ve buscando huecos donde puedas colar una entrada y adelante.
El lunes. Pues de entregar todo.
Vale.
Hoy a las 9:30 de la mañana.
¿Cuánto tardarás?
5 minutos en hacer.
Bienvenido.
Y pirarme. 5 minutos.
Te digo porque hay llamada de...
Me voy a meterme.
Ya que si vienes y es más de repente lo vas a pillar. Y le diría que has venido pues, porque es un programa de PC y... Es un genio, no te preocupes, es muy bajado. Porque para las excusas se le moja.
Yo voy avisando, ¿vale?
Vale,
Yo
pues...
creo que lo voy avisando antes.
Vale, y...
O mañana voy a intentar.
Vale, de todos modos, le diré a Juanjo luego que eso, que como luego es lo de inventarme, pero luego le la avisamos.
Luego le avisamos,
Vale. Vale, creo que esto es la... es un juego de peleas, puedo apuntarme en el
Ya se debería de esto. ¿Qué cuenta, no? Yo ya no te puedo dejar. No quiero dejar. Necesito dejarte.
Eso dice muchas veces, luego...
Bueno, pero es diferente.
Para Nintendo Switch y PS4 y no sé ni el nombre, me parece fantástico. Divino. Gracias, gente. Dadme nombres o fechas.
Sunsoft present the final piece of a trilogy.
¿Rollo Blaster Master?
Attacker embarks on a brand new adventure. The side view and top-down action.
Perfectamente, Blaster Master. Vale.
Battle against mankind is about to begin.
No, ya la vi.
What new threats await him?
Ah, que tienes mejoras de color.
The pinnacle of mutant blaster.
¡Blaster Master! ¡Lo sabía! ¡Blaster Master!
Blaster Master 03.
Blaster Master 03, sí. Ya lo había visto porque... Steam, Epic, PS4, Xbox, Switch, un momento. Mamá, ¿tienes directo, vale? ¿No que quieras tú presentar lo que está en directo? Voy mañana, ¿vale? Pues voy al día. ¡Pues al chino! Lo que sea. Ah, el Gumball 3. En 2022, estupendo. Este se va a ir con el Splatoon a 2022. Pero con la diferencia de que con suerte en el 3 en Nintendo, pero no.
That was super cool. Bit Summit is awesome. Can't wait to go back to Kyoto to experience it.
Amazing. Yeah, that was the best. I think if you get a chance to go to Bit Summit, do it. Take it. It's amazing.
Yeah, shout out to them for you know, showing their games on this showcase for sure. Thanks once again to our sponsors and broadcasting partners for their support. We're gonna shout them out here once again. PlayStation, Xbox, Kickstarter, Razer, Astro Gaming, our fellow devs and publishers, 2 Awesome Studio, Akupara Games, All In Games, Good Shepherd, Humble Games, Goblin Studios, Graffiti Games, Head Up, Hype Train Digital, Neon Doctrine, Raw Fury, Tiny Build, Thunderfall, and Whitethorn Games.
¡Mamá, por Dios! ¡Estoy trabajando!
To check out the Guerrilla Collective event page on Steam, where you can learn more about the games, wishlist those games, buy the games that are available now, check it out. Wishlists help, so do it.
Do it. You know, definitely support them. Thanks to Wilmer Sound. Sir, you have been awesome for opening up your space.
Yes, I'm so happy to open my space to you.
Always, I love being in your space. Thanks to the mix team, ABC.
¿Ya terminó?
Timmy, Abe, Fully Illustrated.
Sí, ya parece que terminó.
Contributed on this stream. That wraps up day 1 of Guerrilla Collective 2. Coming up next is our next installment of Black Voice in Gaming, where Alfonso Hooker will be joining me for some interviews and exclusive gameplay sessions with some amazing devs and their dope games. Be sure to stay tuned.
Sí, la siguiente es el sábado 12
PST, 5 p.m. CET, where
a las 5 de la tarde, otra vez.
Will continue, along with the spotlight on uplifting and thoughtful indie games and wholesome direct. We're going to take a quick break and come back with some more Guerrilla Collective with Black Voices in Gaming next. See you soon.
¡Ah, ya está! Ya está, vamos a ver si no es troleo. Creo que estoy viendo el móvil. No tengo tiempo.
Oh Lord, we are back early. You know, Black Voices in Gaming hasn't started yet. I am here with my friend Alfonso Hooker. Anyway, Black Voices in Gaming is coming up next, but we're going to shoot you with a blast from the past from last year's Guerrilla Collective.
Voy a mirar una cosilla por Twitter.
Roger's amazing interview, and then stay tuned after that for the Black Voices in Gaming from Guerrilla Collect 2. We'll see you in a bit. Will is an amazing composer. He worked on Mortal Kombat. I like how I have a shitty Dixie, like a shitty cup. I believe the sound design and the music for that. I talked a bit about him. Talked with him a little bit about that before. And he also is composing and doing the audio design for a game, Anew, which is it's an independent game. It's really awesome. Worked on Critical Dynamics, on Tomb Raider, I believe, and some other projects. So it'll be awesome to talk with him and also showcase Anew. Okay, so let's roll to the trailer. Try to cue one up right now. Just check it out. Test it. I'm gonna clean this off because it's like fingerprint printing.
What's that?
What?
The screen?
Just the back.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, you can't use Clorox on screens, homie. Man, come on, that's sacrilege.
What happened?
Did you see the message?
Wait, what happened?
Bueno, las sierras. Como que tienes que usar mucho el escudo. Es más defenderse que atacar. Claro, esto es increíble. You're running into the north now. Ya estamos en el chat. The distant light.
So that was the dope trailer from Anu. The game is sick. I first witnessed the game, checked out the game on Kickstarter, and then when I was working at Fig for publishing, I was like, oh, we gotta get that game, and then it had a successful Kickstarter, and then the next time I saw it was at the Mix, actually, where it was being showcased in LA for E3, and I met Will for the first time, and the rest of the team. So we got Will on the line. What is happening, Will?
Hey, how's it going?
All right. Okay, cool. Can you hear us?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, cool. I can hear you.
Oh, yes. Perfect.
Awesome. It's nice to see you again. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's great to see you too. I mean, unfortunately, obviously, E3 and GDC couldn't happen this year. But again, thank you so much for having us on this program.
Yeah, for sure. And guess where we're at? Where you're on the podcast. So we're in Wilmer Sound Studios. We set everything up here, the whole situation. So we have a proper studio, sound studio and everything. And I met Will and actually had an engaging conversation for the first time here during our podcast. So it's great to have you back and talk to you. It's really fascinating your experience in the game space. I did not know, the wealth of experience you had. So can you tell a little bit about your background before we hop into the game?
Sure, yeah. I specialize in game music. Just sorry to make a brief correction, but I don't do sound design for games. I just focus on the music.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. So I started quite a long time ago, and eventually I made my way to LucasArts as a music editor. And then from there, I started to write original scores for Star Wars games like The Old Republic, the MMO, as well as Star Wars First Assault and Monkey Island 2 Special Edition. And then after LucasArts ended, I started my independent career as a music composer. And that's when I did Lara Croft's Temple of Osiris, Dead Island 2, and eventually Call of Duty World War II, Mortal Kombat 11, Star Wars Vader Immortal, and now anew The Distant Light. And that's kind of
that's super dope.
My background, pretty much, yeah.
It's really cool to see that you're doing that and to make that connection like we were talking about before. Is like when I am able to see another black developer or someone in games, it's like an immediate connection, you know, just because there's so few of us. It's awesome. Also, I was geeking out about Mortal Kombat at the time when we talked, because I'm so obsessed. And to know that you were like a part of that process was really great. And then to make the connection that you're also doing things independently, that's amazing as well. So yeah, we have a new here. We're gonna play the game. This dude's gonna drive. Let's hop into it. So can you tell us like how you got locked into it? How did you jump into this game and into the team?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. This was a long time ago. It must have been the end of 2014, maybe early 2015, that I started on this project. And I believe Jeff Spoonpower was our... okay, before I start, this game is made by only 2 people. So it's really weird to say who does what, because literally it's 2 people making the whole game, Steve Copeland and Jeff Spoonpower. But Jeff, who's more of like the artist, he played Lara Croft's Temple of Osiris, and I guess he likes the music, and so he reached out to me, and he showed me just a brief visual demo of like, it's kind of like a look development thing where they were showing some of the day-night cycles in the first level. And I just thought it was so gorgeous, and you know, I'd worked on high profile, like a franchise title for quite some time, but I really wanted some sort of an indie project that was more focused on making kind of a very artistic statement, if that makes sense. Like just not needing to be big, but instead very focused and and this was exactly it. I mean, I feel so lucky that it almost kind of the art style is something I've never seen before, and just the way that they work and the direction that they gave me was so radically different from anything I'd ever seen. Normally you start a game and maybe you'll get some reference tracks, and they're usually from like film scores or sometimes even other game scores, and it's like, this is what we want. Well, in this case, all the reference I got was 20th century modern art music, rather than any kind of scoring. They were showing me Bartok and John Adams and Debussy and Tavara and all these interesting 20th century composers. And so what I did was I wrote in a style that harkens back to that, while also incorporating a lot of like 1960s smooth style synthesizer and things like that, to just get a unusual sound that's quite alien and quite foreign, but also makes sense internally. Like you can see, especially once you, I believe this demo eventually gets to some of the alien constructs, you can see that this is a civilization that you've landed in. And it's real, it's developed, but it's just so radically different from anything on Earth. And I wanted to evoke that with the music.
That's really cool. Yeah, I was playing the last couple of days, and like what you're saying about the art style and the presentation, it is something that I haven't seen before. It feels like a mixed medium art piece, right? You have these like textured layers that look like paper, right? The foreground and the background, but then you have these 3D elements, and everything is tied together so well that when you you get to the alien world, it does feel like a foreign place in a surreal type of way, which I definitely respect. So that's interesting how you came about that. Can you tell us a little bit about like how you get started as far as like, so you talked about like the reference that you use and what they've kind of talked about, the textures that they want in the music, but how do you get started as far as like with composition?
Yeah, so by the way, if you want to get out of this ship, I think you go up and to the left, and then you're trying to get down. So there's like a chute that you go down to get to the next level.
Thanks.
Sorry. It's meant for a J-Hit sound. gameplay, so it's big on exploration. It's not super easy to. I think you go down this elevator.
Down right there. Yeah.
But as far as my process, I'm quite old-fashioned. In fact, almost.
Por ahora esto parece perfectamente un fijón, pero a lo mejor no
For
soy
me, that
capaz.
just lets me be freely creative. I don't have to worry about the technicalities of working on a PC right away. And once I have pieces fleshed out like that, just being freely creative and not having to worry about the reality of how is this all going to come together in the production. Then I go to the PC and develop things there. And once that's all finished and I have approval from the developers, that's when I seek out the live musicians to perform their score.
Oh, okay. So you're working with live musicians.
Quite frequently, yeah. I'm very lucky to be able to do that.
That is awesome. Is that how you approach most of your compositions? Is live? I see a guitar in the background too. So you must be picking up. Because I think you told us about this before. You play mad instruments. Like you play a ton of different instruments, right?
Yeah, well, I apologize for what's about to happen here, but like I have a whole rack of
wow
that you can't even see, but like
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm mostly a flautist. In fact, that's me playing right now. But I try to work with other musicians as much as possible, and in fact, I try to specifically write parts for the players.
El juego también me parece muy guay.
Later on, just kind of playing to their strengths and what I know that they enjoy, what I hope that they'll enjoy performing. But that's again kind of a more old school, traditional way of thinking about music.
Tampoco le estoy mirando muy fijamente porque no quiero estudiarme el
I'm
curso
not super keen on the modern MIDI-based stuff.
Yeah.
I'd much rather work with people.
Escopeta,
That's just a lot
yo
more
estoy hecho para apuntar y el gatillo.
Yeah, totally makes sense. Well, I mean, it's very inspiring what you do and how you work and stuff. Do you have any advice for young composers getting into the game and who are interested in making this happen but may have been struggling, to figure out how to make things happen?
Yeah, this might sound a little bit cheesy, but the answer is real friendships, and that's honestly what carries you in so many different ways. Like first off, on the subject of musicians and the creation of these scores, if you make friends with other musicians, maybe they're fellow composers, maybe they're performers who are trying to start that career. You can have them perform on your demos and on your scores and whatnot. And now suddenly your music sounds way better than your competition who's just using these MIDI, fake versions of the same thing. You have the real musicians performing. So there's that angle, but then there's also, and this is kind of, the way I say it is you have to kind of play the long game.
Yeah.
In terms of like career development and whatnot. A friend that you make in 2014 might end up being someone who leads you to get a project 5-10 years later even. Like my first gig at LucasArts, I got that because I was before that working on a bunch of indie games, and I worked with a sound designer who eventually got hired at LucasArts. And then when they were hired for a music editor, they were like, "Why not hire that low version guy?" And these things kind of just snowballed over time, and one gig kind of led to another. Not because of that gig in particular, but because of the people that I encountered working on those projects.
That is totally true. I've found that exactly the same. Like when you're starting out, you're grinding, you're just trying to make things happen, and you're meeting all these cool people and being nice to them and formulating these friendships and just like naturally being interested in what they do and how they love to express themselves has allowed us, allowed me personally to keep moving forward and up, I mean, you never know. I may be hitting you up like, hey, we got this cool project that we're trying to work on, and we work together or something like that. Or someone sees this stream or something like that. So, but thank you so much for hopping on. I hope that we can connect in the future. That was a new Distance Light, right?
Ya terminado de hablar de los juegos,
Distant Light, amazing. I didn't even realize that you played the flute in that particular point in the game. That's
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't realize it was all live either. That is so dope, dude. Like, cool.
Amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks so much. And check out Anu. I believe that you can, what is it called? You can wishlist it now. Check it out. It's coming out soon. So, this dude's still playing.
That's it. I can't put this down. Okay, all right.
But yeah, we'll hit you up soon. Anu.
Awesome game, brother. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, and I would love to continue to work with you as well.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Tengo que mirar esto porque si esto es otro directo no voy a escapar y ya, y me tendría que ir a comprar en este tiempo. A ver, lo tengo yo por aquí. Momento. Opción. Vale. Por Dios. Aquí. Esto. A ver. No debería de haber nada más, pero esto yo creo que ya poquito más le voy a dar, yo creo. Además que llevo casi 2 horitas buenas. Yo creo que para mí esto ya va a terminar, ¿vale? Creo que un poco más voy a poder sacar del jugo. Esto ya me suena más al Treehouse típico que luego no grabo yo en el E3. Lo mismo. creo que, chavales, ya voy a chapar, porque esto no veo yo emoción a esto. Ha perdido toda mi emoción ya. Ha empezado fuerte y lo último guapo fue lo de el Master 03, que le he puesto muy emocionado porque no otra vez por ahí. No fuera de eso, pues bueno, vale, vamos. Ya han puesto esta música super chill. Pues esto ya no tiene mucha emoción, creo yo. Si a las 19 empieza este, yo lo voy a hacer. Suena tormenta, me parece a mí que sí, una tormenta. creo que como, mira, los que están aquí también han salido, me voy yo también. Esto ya es en plan Treehouse no me interesa un huevardo y medio. Voy a tapar ya. Tengo cosas que hacer como persona humana. Tengo que ir a comprar. He streameado ya lo que creo que era streameable. No tengo nada más aquí que... Literalmente lo que se podía decir es que no se había perdido nada aquí. Así que voy a hacer despedida, vamos a tapar, yo voy a comprar, voy a quedar o no, bien. Y nada. Un poco de musiquilla, ¿no? Vamos a poner algo de musiquilla ahí, todo guapa, ¿no? Esto es mi momento. Músicas de los cielos. Vamos a empezar ya con los saluditos. Saluditos especialitos a Luis, que se ha pasado por aquí a pasárselo bien, saludazo bien fuerte. A Ricardo Gómez, que se ha pasado también por este increíble detazo. A Yagia, que ha estado por aquí comentando alguna cosilla. Y a Mar, que ha pasado presencialmente a verme, a ver que se confía por aquí. Y espero que se haya ido con un buen sabor de boca, que es lo suyo. Ha estado mejor que el otro, el índice ha sido un poco más F. Pero nos hemos puesto aquí las super gafas, no que demuestran las gafas del entendimiento. Entendiendo todo. Y lo hemos entendido todo, tope aquí, juegos muy guays además. He visto 3 juegos bastante guapérrimos y... buen sabor de boca, sinceramente. Yo creo que buen sabor de boca. Me lleva un buen sabor de boca, ha sido todo positivo. Así que... me parece a mí que este evento ya de la guerrilla ya no nos va a dar nada más. Antes de irme, quiero anunciar cuándo va a ser el siguiente directo, ¿vale? No autorizado. Hola. ¿Dónde estaba? Aquí. La cobertura especial de D3, vale. El siguiente, ¿cuándo lo tenemos? Hoy hemos tenido el 5 de junio, el del Indies, que me he podido morir. Luego hemos tenido el Guerrilla, que es este, que ha estado guapísimo. Y, a ver, el 10 de junio tenemos el Summer Game Fest Kickoff Live. Qué inglés más increíble. Será a las 20 horas, ya es un poco más tardillo. Y no tendremos nada más hasta el 11. El 11 tendremos el IGN Expo a las 22, estaré cubriéndolo. El 12 tenemos la segunda parte de la Guerrilla Colective a las 5 otra vez. Para ir a tope. Darle cañita. El World Song es a las 19, que creo que va seguido de Guerrilla. El 12 de junio también, si veo que no es viable, pues no eso. Y si veo que me cansa, pues no. Luego, Ubisoft Forward al 12 a las 21. Este lo tengo que cubrir como si me fuera la vida en ello. Aunque me falta una pierna, este tiene que estar cubierto. El de Ubisoft sobre todo, este sí me interesa. Luego, ¿qué más tenemos? Tenemos el de Devolver Digital, que sabemos que es el 12. Necesitamos que nos concreten la hora para estar a full. El de Devolver Digital hay que cubrirlo también, que es súper divertido de ver. El 13, Bethesda 19, hay que cubrirlo. Bethesda y Xbox hay que cubrirlo. Ay, perdón. El Square Enix es el 13 de junio a las 21:15, lo vamos a cubrir sí o sí. Quiero algo en especial de Square Enix. El 14 de PC Gaming a la 1 de la madrugada, Vamos a volvernos de asco desde el 14. Límite de rango del 14 a las 22. Es uno por la madrugada y el otro a la noche. El 15 de junio a las 18 tenemos el Nintendo. Hay que cubrirlo. Ese hay que cubrirlo. O sea, el resto si no lo cubro me puedo arrepentir, pero este no puedo evitarlo. Y luego el 26... a partir del 26 de junio, en plan el de Lego, el de Nacon, esto a lo mejor no los cubro. Y luego en julio el de EA no sé si lo cubriré. Y el 19 de agosto el QuakeCon no creo que lo cubra. Porque no está de por aquí. Y el Opening Night Live del 25 tampoco estoy seguro. Y luego, algunos que nos quedan por cubrirnos, pero no lo tienen que confirmar. Eso ya no está dentro de mi mano. Hago lo posible, así que no voy ya a dar más la chapa. Podemos cerrar esto. Espero que os haya gustado. Dale un like, favoritos, suscripción. Nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. ¡Chao! Y